I am on my way to Las Vegas for the Formula One Las Vegas Grand Prix with the BWT Alpine F1 Team. My name is Dan Gaul with the manual. Come join me as I go on this adventure to find out what this race in Las Vegas means and what it's all about. So it's really cool to be outside, literally right next to the track while it is still a street. Cars are coming up and down it, and it's fascinating to look and see what this track is going to be like once the F1 cars are on it. You know what I love at being at an F1 event is that you get the opportunity to be up close to real F1 race cars, just like this Alpine one here. Typically at any F1 event, they'll have them around at different locations, at hotels, and you can get up close and personal. This particular one is from 2020. Day 2 recap. It's actually day 3. You can tell it's a little sunny out. You can tell it's not nighttime anymore. And I wanted to give you all what my feeling and perspectives were for day 2. When we got here, we walked around outside. We wanted to get a feel of what has changed. You can't really see much because you got the track and the fence up, but you also have the partitions and the black kind of screens. We explored around the hotel to situate ourselves, and then we walked to the paddock. It was a nighttime walk. It was for the media event at the paddock. It was really cool because nobody else was really here other than the people that are working for the teams and support staff and the drivers. Part of the cool experience was at nighttime, just like normal Vegas, it was above and beyond, even here in the paddock because of all the neon lights. It just had such a cool ambiance to it. After walking around the paddock and getting our tour, it was time for us to sit down with Pierre and Esteban Ocon of the BWT Alpine F1 Team. We had a ton of fun. We got to ask some great questions. I learned from Pierre that his favorite food place is in Tokyo, and I'm so excited to share that with you in the future of exactly where that is. And that was a wrap for day 2. Day 3 recap, and it started off super exciting back at the paddock for a private behind-the-scenes paddock club tour. And as soon as we walked through the gates, they were handing us rosé from apparently the world's best rosé. From there, we walked the length of the paddock club down to Poppy Steak, a pop-up modeled after the Miami and the Las Vegas locations. It looked amazing, and it's literally the backside of it is on pit lane. Next, we went inside the paddock club to the second floor and walked the length of it to look at all the different hospitality suites and see what they're all about, offering premium experience. Out in the corridor, you have all these food stations, and each club has a beverage station with full bars. It looks like it's set up for the perfect party environment. Each suite also has access to a viewing area of the pit lane right above the garages. The finish line looks so much better than what I experienced in Miami. One, it looks so new and clean, but I feel like there's just so much more seats available, and on top of all the grandstand seating, you have an indoors facility that looks like more pubs, where in Miami it's just on one side. So this looks really impressive, and the lighting and everything here, the setup, it'll be a really great experience. Then we went up to the top floor where you have this amazing outdoor ice rink where anybody's welcome to go try their skating chops. You also have some food stations like a St. Honoré donut pop-up. It's delicious. Heineken bar, you have a bar set up for Ocon tequila. Next to that, you also have a club with a DJ and a dance floor, so everybody can let loose, have some drinks, and dance away. To cap off the night, we finished with 2 interviews with the BWT Alpine F1 Team. Mark Lederer showed us an amazing H. Moser and BWT Alpine collab watch. It's absolutely fascinating. Check it out. I'm with Mark Lederer with BWT Alpine to talk about their Moser activation and partnership. Mark, it's a pleasure to meet you. Can you tell me a little bit about what you do for BWT Alpine?
Sure, yeah. So I've been with the team for 3 years. I'm senior partner manager, and I'm proud to be looking after H. Moser and company relationship, who came on board beginning of this season. It's their first ever sponsorship within sports and now in Formula One. And yeah, we've done some really amazing activations with them all over the world, and most importantly, launching our sort of Alpine Special Edition piece.
And that's called the Streamliner. Can you tell me a little bit more? Is this a collaboration where you guys had any input on it, or is it just something they've made specifically for Alpine fans?
Yeah, so this is the Streamliner cylindrical tourbillon skeleton Alpine edition. And yeah, it was developed with Edouard Meylan, who's the CEO of H. Moser, along with us. And what's great about this relationship is, and this partnership, is that our chairman, Luca De Meo, is a big a watch collector, and he loves H. Moser, loves the brand. So Edouard was able to speak to Luca De Meo and gain his ideas and input into how he would like the watch to look. And yeah, it's a fantastic piece. We also launched a pink edition as well in recognition of our title partner BWT, and we did that we launched this in Shanghai, and then we did the pink edition in Miami.
Oh wow!
So, yeah,
okay.
Really cool, really amazing. 2 huge events, and they certainly get a lot of attention when you wear it on your wrist.
I mean, the color is great, and I love the detail that's in it. Do you know if there's a limited number of these available? Is it kind of like first come, first serve, or how are they available?
They are limited, and yeah, H. Moser are in a fortunate position. When they launched this piece, they were sold out straight away. I'm sure this won't be the only one in our relationship and partnership together, but yeah, they have such an amazing group of collectors, and it's almost like a community. So when they launch a special edition piece, they are a watch company that's extremely rare, and it's an amazing moment where their collectors can feel certainly proud to be part of this partnership.
What does the H. Moser partnership mean to you?
I've been very, very fortunate. I think it's amazing working with the team there, with Edouard Meylan, with Bertrand Meylan, who are 2 brothers who really are very forward-thinking, and I think it's one of the few partnerships that I've been involved with where we've been able to turn around, or they have been able to turn around such amazing pieces like this in a short period of time. Within 6 months, we launched a special edition piece. So seeing that come from going to the factory in Schaffhausen, and seeing how the amazing group of engineers. What's amazing about this partnership as well is the synergy we share in our factory on building the car, and then how they go into building an amazing piece like this. So it's just a really there's so many parallels that we work together in that we can be really proud of. And I look forward to, this is the first year, so yeah, I look forward to many more activations and some really special events moving forward.
Well, congratulations on the success of the partnership, and the watch already sold out. 2 amazing colors. I can't wait to see what comes out next. Thank you so much.
No problem.
I appreciate your time.
No worries.
And then we finished with an interview with Ollie Oakes, team principal. Had a ton of fun talking with them.
You look good.
Oh,
I
thank
don't know
you.
if I can pull it off.
You're trying to butter me up
Yeah,
way
be
too
nice.
much.
Don't give me too many awkward questions. I just realised they've got Heineken in the paddock here. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Yeah, like so.
Is that one of your favorite beers?
I kind of like Coors and Bud. I
Really?
shouldn't say that. Yeah,
Yeah?
it's pretty sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we can talk about that.
Yeah.
All right, so we are here with Ollie Oaks with the BWT Alpine F1 Team. Just to get to know a little bit more about you, your journey, your experience. I'm super excited to hear what it's all about. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah?
I'm just thinking what questions you're going to throw at me about my journey. So let's go.
It's going to be really, really tough. What has been one thing coming into F1 and working with the BWT Alpine Team? How has that kind of changed your perception of F1, what that experience has been like for you, pre-F1 to now?
Okay, good bits or bad bits?
Whatever you want to share, but I love positivity, man.
Positivity, okay. There's been loads of things that are pretty amazing about it. Look, it's a privilege to be leading a team, although, there's 900 odd people, that's pretty different to get your head around, but it's super cool. Like, you're traveling to all these cool destinations, you're racing cars, every week you're pushing, you're learning. That's the exciting bit of it. I think the main bit I'm enjoying most is obviously I'm learning new stuff. Obviously, having been racing for a long time as a driver, then my junior teams, some of it is the same and some of it's different. That's pretty exciting as well, because there are things you go, oh cool, I didn't know that, or that stuff is the same, and that's a good challenge as well.
And what are some things that you've learned for yourself on how to deal with those challenges? Maybe some lessons learned that you've in this short amount of time.
Probably being a bit more patient.
Yeah.
Less fiery. No, I mean, I think the main thing is F1's kind of a little bit different in that stuff does take a little bit longer to happen, because you are developing a car. Each track has a different set of problems, so it's not like 1 week to the next you can kind of make as much progress as you want to make. It's also really competitive, which kind of sucks. Everyone's kind of doing a good job. It's a real tight sort of battle in the midfield, which is a bit annoying because you kind of would like to change things quicker. But yeah, they're the main things.
Yeah. You mentioned a lot of different locations. Obviously, you're traveling all across the globe.
Yeah.
What has been your favorite place so far?
Austin was pretty cool. I didn't expect that. Like, I shouldn't say that from the UK. It's not like kind of a US city everyone talks about, but that was really exciting, because I got to catch up with a couple of young drivers who used to drive for me in my high tech, who were racing like in the States at IndyCar and stuff. So it was fun to hang out with them, and that was a cool event. Just the fans there, how much they loved F1. And the city, that was fun.
Were you able to get out and explore the city a little bit?
Yeah, I went out into the city. And also, obviously, we just had Brazil. We had a good weekend there, so that was fun. I didn't get to stay for a bit of partying Sunday night, unfortunately, but that was a cool event as well. So I guess all of them have their own quirks that make them great events, but Austin so far kind of stands out.
Yeah.
Before Vegas, obviously today.
Yeah. So is there anything with Vegas that you're super excited about? Obviously the race is so different here, but also the city is so vibrant and so much energy.
It's amazing to see it firsthand. Like, obviously, I hadn't come to the event before, and then being here, seeing it is bang in the middle of the strip, that's pretty cool. I think this whole sphere thing is pretty cool as well.
The sphere is crazy.
When I was in, I think it was one of the events just done. I think it was Austin. They did some filming, and they're like, "Your face is going to be on the sphere," and I was like, "What? I don't want that." And sort of, my wife was taking the mick out of me. She knows I hate all that kind of stuff. So on one part, I kind of want to see that, and on the other, I really don't. So that will be fun later.
Yeah. The larger than life face.
Yeah, the big face. Yeah, dreading it. I hope they get my good side.
Yeah. Have you gotten used to all the attention now of coming in F1? No,
I'm not a fan. No, I shouldn't say that. I can't say I'm not a fan of it, because it comes with the job. But It wouldn't be my first choice to want to do. I'd much rather just hang out with the guys, go racing, but I guess you kind of need to man up and accept that's part of the job, yeah.
Yeah. At the end of the day, at the end of the race, and you're kind of like getting back to your hotel or whatever, how do you unwind from the stress and the excitement?
So kind of, I shouldn't say this, it's pretty uncool, isn't it? Like, I'm kind of like grab a pizza, then go chill out, some Netflix or something. As much as probably if you have a big result, you'd go out, most of the time you're actually so knackered after the weekend, you just want to genuinely grab a beer, a bite and chill. To be honest. That's really uncool, isn't it, actually?
It's not uncool at all. I mean, it's whatever helps you reset, right?
Yeah. I mean, I felt bad in Austin. We had a really good Saturday. We made it to Q3, and then Sunday I was a bit annoyed because we didn't get points. So kind of went back to the hotel, was thinking I'd go out to a cool restaurant, and then I just went to a pizza joint. So yeah, kind of different, yeah.
Do you remember the name of that pizza joint?
No, I don't. I should actually. It was good pizza, to be fair.
So you did in Austin? Did you have barbecue at all?
I did have barbecue.
Yeah?
Yeah. I did in the build up to again. That was mega. Yeah, that was a big thing.
Yeah. Have you had barbecue like that?
I have in the US before, which is something you look forward to. I guess I don't know if it's the case there, but like everyone talks about like an English breakfast, and from the US, everyone talks about Texas barbecue. So hopefully that's correct.
I mean, there are different types of barbecue, like different regions, but Texas is well known. Yeah.
I'll have to get a list together.
Yeah. And then you talked about beer, and you know, what's your favorite beer?
I guess we have a lot of ales in the UK, so that's kind of your thing. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw that. We had also Jeremy Clarkson come to the factory on Wednesday. He's got his own brewery, Hawkstones. That was cool after Brazil, delivering beers to the workforce. So stuff like that I really like. We're quite lucky where we are in the UK, where the team's based, which is actually where I live. We have a lot of local breweries, so that's kind of fun as well. Yeah.
So when you're having the beers coming in for the team, and you know, obviously, like you said,
I didn't get to enjoy it actually. I had to go to Geneva for F1 commission, so I was a bit jealous.
So you get everybody beers, but you're like, see you later.
Well, they left me a couple in my office, which was cool. But yeah, I didn't get to be part of the real fun club. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I was gonna say team morale, right? Like,
they were happy, so that's okay.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Do you have like those plans as you continue as team principal and building the team? 900 people is a lot. Yeah. Like, how do you keep that morale high, and how do you connect?
There's always someone unhappy. People? Yeah. No, I think kind of the normal way, really. I think it's getting to know them, genuinely being around the factory. At the end of the day, everyone who's there at Enstone, they really, you know, they love racing. That's why they work in F1 at the end of the day. They want to be part of it. So that bit's kind of straightforward. I think the bit where it probably is tougher is, you know, they all want to know what's happening and why, where the team's going, and, you know, hopefully the last sort of 2 months since I started, you know, we have been in a bit of a positive way, and we need to continue that.
Yeah. Is your favorite team moment right now Brazil? Is that your favorite one in your mind?
No, my favorite one so far is probably my first one in Zandvoort in Holland, because I think, kind of cliche, no one forgets their first, but I think in Zandvoort, you know, it was my first weekend leading the team. We had a good race, scoring points, but I guess you kind of just remember the being on the grid, the sort of Dutch fans, the first time of experiencing kind of leading an F1 team there, and the atmosphere and the environment, that kind of sticks in my head so far. I think Brazil, after the race, seeing how much that meant to everyone in the team, that's another image you'll never forget. And them all sort of bullying me with champagne and jumping on me. You're not going to forget that. I need to give them some stick back. But yeah, they're kind of moments that stick.
How has your life changed since coming into F1 from a personal experience? You, your family, and what are you looking forward to from that perspective?
Yeah, I think it is a change. I think at the end of the day, kind of what I was doing before in my high tech, you know, I was away quite a lot anyway, so my wife, she's already pretty understanding. I think the main change is obviously it's sort of very different, some of the aspects of the job. You know, I dare say you're not as much with the engineers and in the garage as you were with my sort of junior teams, there's a lot more top level stuff which isn't quite as sexy or fun. But actually, it's all exciting. I think anybody who's following F1 today, they see how competitive it is, how much is going into it, and that's really cool to be a part of and leading at the end of the day. It's I keep saying it, but it is a big responsibility to be leading a team like this, and every day I realize that the decisions you're making, they affect a lot of people, but also you're on show to the world. If there's good bits of doing a good job, but also you can go 0 to 0 quite quickly as well.
And maybe Amsterdam is kind of like the beginning, a culmination of emotions and feelings around that.
And I guess probably a realization really of what it is you're doing at the end of the day. I think obviously I knew that before I took the job, but you probably it hits you when you're there sort of on the grid with everyone and you're like, okay, I'm doing this now. I need to get on with it.
Yeah. So out of all these experiences and the future, what kind of skills and mental strength and the travel practices of like dealing with jet lag, like what are the things that you're bringing with you or you're hoping to learn, and do you have a mentor within the team that is giving you advice of how to prepare?
I guess you pick up advice as you go along. I've got Flavio, who's pretty cool. He's been around the block. He's done it twice. He keeps telling me that. 2 guys of the team, he's had success, and it's cool with him because it's really great bouncing ideas with him. But I think a lot of it is you have to learn on the job. At the end of the day, there are things that you can tackle because you've been through them before in a different way, and there are things that you kind of can only learn by making a mistake today and getting it right the next time. And I think that's also something I've got to get used to, is that you're never going to get it right all the time as much as you want to. And part of that is a process and building trust as well with everyone in the team. I keep saying it, but we just kind of need to be humble and honest in where we were. We started the season in a kind of tricky position. I think the last 2 years are a bit tough on the team, but actually it's really cool to see now a bit of positivity, some momentum, and I'm enjoying that because it's kind of like you planted the seeds, it's starting to grow, and that's really cool to be able to sort of push that in the right direction and see where it takes you.
Yeah, and speaking of fun, like how do you guys do fun as a team? Is there a lot of like
a lot of banter?
Jokes?
I think as I don't know, English teams and in racing as a guy, and there's a lot of banter. I think that's why you love racing. It is, everyone can sort of have an argument over being annoyed at someone because they want them to push a bit more, but then you can also take the piss out of each other, and that's what's fun. For me, that's why I love my job. Whether in the role I was in now or genuinely with my teams, it's that bit of you're pushing for lap time, but at the same time, it is a team. There is good banter, and that's part of it.
It's like a family.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, a family, and like having brothers where you argue, but you also have a lot of fun together.
Do you have a moment or a memory so far that really sticks out to you of kind of that fun?
So far, I think it's all the time. It can be flights together. It can be in the garage with the car leaving the box where mechanics forgot something and you're giving him a bit of shit because you're like, I saved your ass, but I'm the boss. But there's lots of that stuff. Yeah, and it is daily. Whether
if you in 20 years look back.
Yeah.
And all the racing experience and the team experience is one thing, but if you think about like the emotion and the skills you've learned as a human, what do you think you might be able to tell yourself?
Well, hopefully I've still got some hair. That'd be the first thing.
A beard, maybe.
Yeah, beard, maybe. Yeah, I can grow that, no problem. It's on top. I don't know. Part of me hopes I'm still here enjoying it, because I think when you see a Flavio or a Helmut Marko are big friends, of mine, and they've been good mentors to me, you kind of hope you still have their passion and desire for being here, going racing, because I think they're both quite a lot older, so you kind of hope you still love it when you come to the track. I think that's a big thing. I think if I was to tell the younger me something, I'd probably say, you know, be a bit more patient, because you can push too hard sometimes. But yeah, not too much. I'm a big believer in stuff happens for a reason, and you need to enjoy the journey as well. And actually, when you're in a team and you're pushing, whether it's with the engineers to not rest on their laurels and try stuff, or sometimes it's actually stick to your guns, you know, all of that's part of the fun. You know, you don't get it right all the time.
Enjoy the journey.
Yeah, exactly.
Ollie, thank you
Cool.
so much.
Nice to meet you. Yeah.
Appreciate
Thanks
your
a lot.
time.
Yeah, see you
I
later.
appreciate it. And then that's a wrap for day 3. Recap day 4, and you guessed it, we are right back in the paddock. Today we get a garage tour. We get to spend time with the BWT Alpine F1 pit crew, get to watch them warm up, get to watch them do a practice, and then I had a conversation with the team's human performance coach, Peter Webster. It was amazing. I got some tips about sleep, which I am definitely gonna take to heart. And then from there, we walked back to the Venetian for P3 and qualifying at the Venetian Viewing Club. And what an amazing time. How exciting was that? And scary to see a crash happen in qualifying. Thankfully, everybody walked away from that. Some other really interesting facts about F1 in Las Vegas is that it's 3.8 mile long course, and the Venetian's property runs along 20% of the track. That's a massive amount of space, and really cool that you can access the race from so many areas of the Venetian. One other really interesting fact is that this is the coldest race in F1. It happens at night, and in the desert this time of year, it's freezing. So average temperatures in the 30s, maybe even high 20s. Make sure you bundle up and stand near a heater. I am here in the BWT Alpine F1 Team's garage. Super exciting. It's over the top. As you can tell, all this noise, they're practicing for the event. They'll play music. You have cars revving up. You got the mechanics working on the cars and getting ready to do pit stop practice. And it's just really amazing to see. Super energetic and super bright. Reminds me of being in a casino with an assault on the senses. I can't wait to actually get the smell from the exhaust. I am here with Pete Webster with BWT Alpine F1 Team's human performance coach. Pete, thanks for talking with me.
Thanks.
I need some human performance in my life. It sounds amazing. Can you kind of give me a rundown of what that means to you and the team?
Yeah, so my role here is pretty straightforward. I'm like the father of the team. So I look after all the guys, all their ailments, everything they do. So these guys, we're traveling all the time. We go through different time zones. Our bodies are a complete mess. They're working really hard. They're doing super long hours. The environment's just tough on the body. So my job is to make that whole life a lot easier, really.
Okay,
So,
you're the father. First off, that's quite a responsibility.
Like a parent.
Yeah. Do they come to you with their problems as well? Their mental
All sorts of problems.
Yeah, they're like, "Man, help me.
Yeah. So we try to do a lot of preventative stuff to try and kind of predict what's going to happen. So like this race particularly is really hard because obviously we've got the 10-hour time or 8-hour time difference from the UK, plus the fact that we're all over the place with a kind of, we're racing at night. So the impact that has on us, everybody's tired, everybody's fatigued, and how we cope with that's really, really tough. So we try and do a lot of preventative stuff in the background to try and help that. So we're looking at how we look at vitamins, what we can fuel the body with, electrolytes, hydration, all of that sort of side. And then from that, we then look at sleep patterns, travel patterns. We monitor everybody on work devices to keep an eye on everything that's going with each individual. And then after all of that, when they all fall apart, they come and see me and we do treatments.
So as part of your fatherly duties, like you catching people like going off track or eating something bad or doing something, you're like,
No, that's a policeman. That's different. That's different.
Yeah.
So, like they all know. I mean, a lot of what we do is kind of educational. So we're not trying to force them. We don't want to be that kind of that guy that's kind of stopping them eating sausages or whatever it is.
No punching in the gut.
No punching in the gut. No, we don't operate like that. It's about educating them so they make the right choices. It's like we're on the road so much, so like if they know what to do, then that's much better than me telling them off.
Oh, for sure.
Much better, much better.
And they see the benefits of it, right?
Yeah. So it's a balance, right?
Yeah.
It is a balance.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing is that there are not a lot of teams that have a human performance coach.
Okay.
So what exactly is like obviously the benefits of being very active and ready for the environment and being agile and all that stuff. So how was it before you came, and what has been the improvement since you've come? Have you see those measurables?
Yeah, I mean, we've always had a coach here.
Okay.
So even before my time. I think historically we've had a physio in play who's always been on call to deal with if somebody's hurt their back, if they've got an injury, they'll always have a treatment option. What we're trying to change this year is just to build it up a little bit more, so the proactive side of it is much greater now. So like going into next year, they'll have pre-season testing, pre-season training. We're going to go through all their injury lists, all of their kind of, but on a personal one-to-one basis. And then we can look at everybody's an individual, then how they operate as a crew, and then look at that kind of teamwork there as well, and then build a whole picture. So everybody's got their own personal plan, a crew plan, a role-specific plan, and then we build from there.
So you deal with not just physical injuries, you deal with like maybe somebody had a bad day and you come in and help them deal with that.
I think that's kind of part of it anyway. So,
yeah.
I mean, it's having somewhere that's quiet they can come away from, and we don't actively push for that, but it's just part of the process. So, and there's me and a doctor. So between us, we basically cover off all bases really. So,
what is your favorite aspect of this?
all of it, the guys. Like, it's just good fun. It's a family.
Do you guys have a lot of banter and stuff?
Oh, it's always banter, yeah. It's a family, right? So I spend more time here than I do with my own family, so.
You need that, right?
Yeah. We wouldn't do it if it wasn't fun.
So do they prank you, or are you pranking them? Or is there a lot of like...
I think it's just, I think it's just ongoing.
Yeah.
There is no set time, it's just a constant. So.
Is there a specific memory you can share of something that you found hilarious or really fun, or something that was just like, what a great way to just make us all have a little bit more relaxed atmosphere?
I think it's just general day-to-day. There is no one-off, it's just constant. So I can't think of one individual thing, which I can't even say about on camera either. So, but I think it's just more of just the whole team vibe is really cool.
Yeah. Like, and it's not just the pit crew, it's with the drivers as well, right?
I don't do much with the drivers here. I look after drivers at other places, but the drivers have their own physios because they kind of travel with them. They have their own relationships. I try to focus purely on these guys, really. So,
do you guys trade those other physios? Do you guys trade, like different tips or practices that you're seeing?
It's constant dialogue. Yeah, we're good. We all work really well together. So, I have a group of physios I've worked with over 20 years. We call them some heroes, and then we just all kind of bounce ideas off each other. It's all a good support act, really. So. Again, it's family, isn't it? So I spend 43 weeks a year on the road, so we have to have that support really. Otherwise, it's a bit solo. So,
what is your favorite junk food?
Junk food?
Yeah. What's your do you eat junk food? And
I guess so.
It's kind of like that thing. You're like, man, I am craving this so bad. I'm maybe end of season, right?
The easiest go-to is pizza, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely pizza or a good burger, but it has to be a good burger.
Oh, okay. What do you like on your burger?
Actually, my latest one was over, where was I? I was in Atlanta, and I bought this burger. It was the most expensive burger ever, and it was amazing. It was just a plain old cheeseburger, but whatever they did to it was incredible. So.
That sounds so good. What about beer?
Beer, I like a strong lager.
Strong lager, all right.
Something like that.
What do you, from a physio perspective, what would you suggest I do? I mean, I've got a little bit of, some work I can have.
I think we'll see what you're doing currently, and we'll work on the individual gaps, okay?
If you could give one exercise that we could share with everybody watching, what do you think is a really good exercise for being limber, awakening the mind, and getting those reflexes going?
I think we would split it down to mobility, cardio, for looking at efficiency of the engine, and then strength and conditioning really. So. But I think the biggest key I can give to anybody is just keep it going. It's regularity. You can do any exercise, but as long as you're doing it regularly, that's the key to everything. Nothing's going to fix you, but regularity is the thing that's key to everything. So.
And do you think that mobility, cardio, and then strength training in that order, or?
No, we look at cardio as looking at the efficiency of the engine, like just well-being, health, and then strength and conditioning to stability and support, injury-free, and then obviously mobility is about injury prevention, really. So, again, these guys are hanging over cars all day. Their backs are a mess, their forearms are a mess. They've all got very similar injuries. It's quite, you see a lot of repetition in that, so it's quite easy to then plot how we then work around that. Yeah. You'll see later on, we're going to do like an activation test before the pit stops. We'll warm them up. It's about turning the brain on. It's about warming the body up. It's about getting them used to, getting to that mindset of they've got to be quick for that pit stop then. But we try and do that with a bit of fun. It's a big game really, so it's not too serious.
You guys do like contests and stuff? Who's the fastest or who?
Yeah, so we do a game where like, the most obvious thing is what we're going to do today is a game of heads, shoulders, knees and toes. And then we have to kind of race to get a cone. It's really simple. It's not too serious. The serious stuff comes after that, so.
Yeah. No prizes? Like
the prizes.
Little award or
We're all competitive people, so
yeah, right?
We're here for a reason, right?
I love it. Well, let's talk about prepping. How do you prep for something like this?
For me personally,
Yeah.
I just survive.
You
I just go from one to the next.
yeah. Do you have it all down already?
Yeah, we have routines. So we have I send out a list in the morning every evening. That gives everybody a booking slot, and then that way I can manage my day. And then the guys, depending on what I have, obviously a good understanding of what's wrong with all of them. So we can then just pick away. This week's been pretty good for us because we can just work away on preventative measures. We've not had that many kind of big problems with nobody's hurt their back, for example, or we've not had big injuries. Touch wood. Still got a few days to go. So, but here we've just been looking after just the constant aches and niggles that people have been having.
Yeah.
So
do you also deal with like the weather environment? Like Vegas is extremely dry. Making sure people have like good lotion, or here also like a saline solution in the nose. Are you guys dealing with that?
Not so much with that now, because again, it's a balance between everybody's getting on with it and then just giving them sort of a trickle of support, really. So
I see. Okay.
We look at obviously electrolyte balance for temperature. That's very, very important. We look at nutrition based on energy levels for what they need to do throughout the day. So I work quite closely with the chefs, so we'll help build that kind of menu up for when they need the energy the most. We look at ambient temperatures throughout the race weeks, and obviously we've got a good idea of how it's going to be at each race now and what's going to happen at each race. Here's like probably the worst we can go to all year, just again going back to the time differences. So
yeah, and you guys are just hammering down to the
it's a bit of a survival really. And we know we've got a few races left, and like Qatar next week will be easier, and then Abu Dhabi will be the last race, so everybody up for it.
And you guys are like celebrating in Abu Dhabi and like let loose in terms of once the race is
game
done.
on, it will still be game face all day. All good. It doesn't finish until the end. So
when you guys have a race like Brazil where you have amazing results, do you personally worry about what's going to happen that night?
No, I go with it. Unfortunately, I wasn't even in Brazil. I was in Bahrain.
Oh no!
But they phoned me at 4 a.m. in the morning.
Oh, that's fine.
They were still in the bar at 4 a.m. So
okay.
Yeah.
And then finally, like when it's off season, do you give them homework like at home, like continue doing XYZ and eating a certain way?
So next year, so in January they go through a 2-day kind of testing assessment. We're going to go over to Canterbury University. They've got this brand new sports science development there, and the whole team go through all a load of individual testing. We get all the baselines set. We look at all the mobility, and then from that we can then design a routine for each of the individuals. And then through February, when they're doing car build, we're going to run loads of workshops, and we'll go from personal training, personal stretch clinics, through to big like ride days, cardio days, where they'll all come and do group sessions, and that will trickle in all pre-season. So and then they'll have their own routines, which we monitor with various different software. Again, the wood bands play a big part in that. So we have a group where I can see how fatigued everybody's been, how much sleep they're all getting, how their bodies are coping. So if I come in like today, I can look at who's on that list, who's struggling, and I can immediately target the people at the bottom of the list who are in the red. And we can start looking at why are they in the red, are they not sleeping properly, are they not hydrated, whatever's going on.
Data's king.
Data's everything, yeah.
And you just reminded me, one final question before I let you get back is sleep. So
sleep's everything.
So important, and you guys are traveling everywhere. Do you have any tips or tricks you can share with people around dealing with time zone changes and sleep deprivation?
It's funny because a lot of people ask me this. I get this a lot of time. And I think a lot of the time we're just so tired, you just sleep. What we try to do, in a perfect world, we would try to change time zone the week before. So like ideally last week we would have tried to come over to this time zone, but sometimes a lot of the time when we're doing like triple headers, we just don't have the opportunity. So a lot of time it is just cope with what we've been given at the time. But then we look at melatonin to help people go to sleep, or we use something called NTR, which is called nighttime recharge. And that's a really positive thing from one of our suppliers. And it's basically magnesium, various different vitamins. So the melatonin helps you obviously go to sleep if you're struggling with that. The NTR helps you stay asleep. So it's not like a sleeping drug, it's just more vitamins, minerals, getting the right ingredients into your body to give it just that boost really. So, and we just try and promote good health and good strategy with that. And the rest follows really. So
Amazing. Peter, thank you so much.
Okay.
I appreciate your time. Have an amazing race.
thanks man, nice to meet you.
Likewise.
All right.
Yeah. And that set us up perfectly for race day, which I am so excited for. Are you ready for that? Let's go. All right, it's day 5. It's race day. I am super excited for tonight. A couple things to note. It is warm out. It's 70 plus degrees today and a little bit windy. It feels amazing, but remember, it still gets really cold at night. So I wanted to share some tips and tricks with everybody that plans on coming for next year. First off, if you happen to be staying at the Venetian like me, we found a little bit of a shortcut. It took us only 3 days to figure this out. But if you're at the lobby and you take a right, there are some doors to the ride share. It heads out into the garage, and from there you go down Link Lane, and it will take you directly to the access point to the Paddock Club and some other viewing areas. For you, wherever you happen to be staying, even at the Venetian, make sure you look at where your tickets are for and plan out in advance how you will get there, because car transportation will be limited, especially as the day gets closer to the sessions, whether it's practice, qualifying, or the race. Also, some tips and tricks for packing. You want to make sure you bring some comfortable walking shoes. You will be walking a lot. We are averaging between 7 and 10 miles every day, especially if you plan on going back and forth between your seats and the hotel, and then everything in between, going and having drinks or food or whatever you plan on doing. Second, sunscreen, because during the day, just like today, it is sunny out, or can be and should be. It's also very dry, so bring some lotion and some sunglasses. Protect those eyes. When you're sitting in the stands, you'll want a hat as well to help protect your face and additional protection. At night, you want to make sure you bring some clothes to bundle up. It gets cold, 40 degrees and below, so make sure you bring some pants or something like that, a sweater, maybe a knit hat, a scarf, and some type of insulated jacket. You will thank yourself later for that, because it's not fun sitting out in that cold. There aren't a lot of heaters out here to keep you warm. Don't forget about water. It is a desert environment. It's very dry here, and then you have the sun that also compounds it. Drink lots of water constantly throughout the day so that you'll have your energy at the night for the race. One final tip, if you're coming with a large group, larger than 2, make sure you make your reservations for restaurants and food well in advance, because the crowd size here is very large. We are here with
Esteban, Kingston, Jamaica.
And Chris from Kingston, Jamaica.
Nice to meet you too. You guys have come a long way to Las Vegas for F1. Can you tell me what your experience has been like so far?
It has lived up to expectations so far. Last year was a fantastic race, and that's why we're here this year to witness it in person.
Perfect, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, we are very enthusiastic Formula One fans, and so, you know, coming here is just a rite of passage again after watching it on TV last year, coming to experience it firsthand, and it's just been a wonderful experience so far. The weather is a little tricky for us, but you know, we're managing well, and we feel quite at home with all the people and all the interactions that we've had.
Have you guys been to Las Vegas for last year's F1 before?
No, I watched last year's race on TV, which is why I wanted to be here in person this year.
Yeah, we kind of watched it, and we were on the phone together saying that, everybody was kind of tentative with regards to how interesting a race it might have been. And the race itself turned out to be very, very interesting and exciting, lots of overtakes. So despite the logistical issues with any first event, I think they pulled off a good one, and then we're here this year enjoying everything that it has to offer.
So if you had to give one piece of advice for people who have never been to Vegas and might think about coming next year, what is the one thing that you would be like, you have to do or bring or prepare for?
Just come to enjoy the event, because there is a lot to on offer for the event itself. The on-track experience is one thing, but there are so many things to do around the experience of the race itself. Just come and be prepared to have fun.
I was talking to a couple of natives from Vegas as part of the experience here, and what they said was Vegas experiences summer straight into winter. So, if you're coming here, your pockets should be full. Come for the excitement. There's a lot going on the strip, but just enjoy it. It's a city of activity, and it doesn't sleep. Yeah. So, at 2 a.m., there's still things to do.
What type of cars are you all racing down in Jamaica?
There are several genres of racing in Jamaica. We do circuit racing, we have rallying, we have drag racing, we have drifting, and we have go-karting. So we cover the wide spectrum of motorsport in Jamaica.
That's amazing. Experiencing Vegas, people don't know what to expect, right? Like, especially if they've never been to Vegas. But I would actually say it's the same thing for Jamaica. Outsiders who don't know Jamaica very well, and they think island nation and motorsports, that's an amazing thing.
Yes, when people think of Jamaica, they think of three things: the beaches, Usain Bolt, and Bob Marley. And they don't realize that we have a lot more to offer, and motorsport is one of those things.
Perfect. Thank you, Stephen and Chris. I really appreciate your time sharing your thoughts with me.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having us, and it was good to meet you.
And I'll just catch you guys' names real quick.
Dean. So almost like that.
My name is Kelvin.
Nice to meet you guys. So, can you describe what your experience has been at Las Vegas Grand Prix so far?
Yeah, it's been great. The atmosphere is amazing. The fans are great. So it's a fun time for a night race.
Yeah, awesome. Improvement on last year. No drain covers coming off. The streets are nice and quiet. It's getting as easy. So it's been amazing.
If there's one thing you could tell people that want to come next year as advice of what to do, what to bring, how to prepare, what would that be?
Ooh, I'd say take it all in. There's a lot to experience, especially if you're new to the sport. So I'd say, just take it all in.
Yeah, likewise. Just see the sights and then come here for the action. Yeah?
Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
We are just leaving the paddock, about to head over to the Venetian, but the paddock was amazing tonight. The electricity, the energy, the vibrance of seeing so many people, celebrities, got to hang out with the Jabberwockies, the Blue Man Group. We had a little bit of fun with them. How are you? How you doing? It's very soft. I love your soft touch. I don't know what to do. It's a waiting game. Wait. But it's time to go over and get ready for the race. We are at the Venetian for the casino watch party. Right outside the doors of it, we're gonna take you inside, check it out. It's an activation for the loyal casino customers of the Venetian only. Super exclusive, super fun. Come with us to go check it out. We are at the Venetian viewing platform, another exclusive event for the loyal casino customers of the Venetian. It is jam-packed full of bars, food, seats, and TVs, trackside and elevated up so you have a great view. It's post-race day and the Las Vegas Grand Prix is in the books. As you can see, the city is starting to deconstruct, removing the barriers, and traffic is back on the strip. The action last night was super exciting and fun, and you could feel the energy in the crowds at the watch parties as the racers battled for that first, second, and third spot with Russell and Hamilton and Sainz taking first, second, and third respectively. As I settled in to watch the race at the Venetian viewing platform, I had some amazing food, some great drinks, and I was surrounded with some fantastic people. And no matter what the outcome was of the race, I had a great time. And that's all I cared about. And with the conclusion of this amazing week, I am ready to go home, get some rest, and to get back to work. Thanks for joining me on this journey, and I will conclude with my final thoughts in a second. All right, so it's Monday, and I'm finally heading home from the Las Vegas Grand Prix, and just reflecting a little bit. First off, pretty tired. Like, that was a lot of walking, and but I'm super grateful. Had a lot of fun. I've learned a lot, and I'm just really excited for the future of F1 and what that means here in the United States as the fan base grows, what it can do for the fans, the local economies, just the excitement over motorsports in general. I do want to give a shout out to the BWT Alpine F1 Team for granting us access and inviting us down to interview their team, the team principal, Ollie Oakes, the drivers, Peter, the physio. Again, just an amazing opportunity and learned a lot, and I'm excited for what we were able to share with you all around what the F1 experience is here in Las Vegas and how unique it is. Another shout out also to the Venetian, giving us an opportunity to also film in areas that are normally off limits to the general public, and for hosting us as well. They were excellent partners. I am looking forward to going next year, 2025 Las Vegas Grand Prix, and I'm excited to get home. So with that, I'm out. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget, show us some love, show us some support, like and subscribe to the channel, and sign up for notifications. Have a great one.